Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Hossami. I'm the medical director of Verita Life. Today here I got Alison, Gosper, and Karen Filby. Hello, guys. Hi.
Hi.
How you going?
Hi. Nice to have you. Thank you. Well, today it's not about, let's say, your cancer or your diagnosis or your experience, but because you have dedicated most of your time in helping cancer patients receive treatments, seeking the best options around, and because of the, let's say, current pandemic, which is the COVID, there's a lot of question has been raised, and a lot of people are, let's say, scared maybe or doesn't know about traveling and so on. But I know that you have helped a lot of patients to, uh, let's say, travel and seek medical attention outside Australia. So I would like, we have, let's say, we listed down most of the questions that could be asked, and as for you, let me say, as experts now in this and helping patients, would ask you the questions and would love for you to answer it. All right. So questions ask, can I travel outside Australia, especially to Thailand? And if so, do I need to get a permission from the government to travel outside Australia? How does it work?
Yes, so you can you can definitely travel, and especially to Thailand. But yes, there is quite a lot involved in doing so, but it's a process, and you do need to get permission. I believe, yeah.
There's a lot of conditions, and the Australian government is strict on what travel it allows, and it has allowed, since the 1st of July 2020, it has allowed people to travel outside of Australia, specifically to Thailand, for life-saving treatment that is not available in Australia.
Okay, that's good. Well, just to add something before we move on, as we speak now, Thailand has already left the quarantine starting from November for vaccinated, and reduced the quarantine to be 10 days for non-vaccinated people. So things are easy, and it is being opened up, and let's say Thailand is now considered safe, let's say, regarding COVID. All right, so the second question would be, can my family members travel with me?
Not at the moment, because the borders still aren't open that far with Australia, and when it does open, it'll be only to double vax people, and as we all know, a lot of cancer patients aren't vaccinated at the moment, so there's still going to be restrictions. And because it allows people to travel for life-saving treatment and not tourism, it's very strict on who it allows. Like, if there's a patient going, the spouse or partner or husband is generally allowed to go. We've had cases where sisters have been allowed to go. One sister is a support person, a mother is the person, but we have to explain in those cases why that person needs to travel. So it's not a straight out yes no answer, that one. So yes, some of them are allowed to travel, but there are still strict guidelines and conditions that need to be met.
Okay, so it can be done, but it's taken case by case.
Yes.
Yeah, and it will only ever be one support person. So it's not, and that person can't change. Like, that person can't fly home and then a new person go. It's that one person.
Okay. All right. And do we need visa, or do we need to apply for a visa? And if so, where should I go to apply for a visa to Thailand?
Yep, it's called a special tourism visa at the moment. And it needs to be applied for via the Thai consulate in Canberra. So there's a form that needs to be filled out, the passport gets sent away, there's a supporting document that needs to go with it, and a fee that needs to be paid at the time. And that's a visa. That needs to be done before you can enter Thailand.
Okay. And how long does this process take usually?
I think it was about a week turnaround. The last one I did, I think from the time I posted the passports to return, about a week.
About a week. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say give or take. So that's
it's not
okay.
too bad.
No, it's not.
And is there anything else besides, let's say, asking for the permission and the visa? Is there anything else that the patient needs to do?
Yeah, there's a list of documentation that needs to be produced and a list of requirements that Thailand requires. That's COVID in travel insurance, with specific, again, guidelines and amounts that need to be covered. You'll have to do a COVID.
Yeah. And then we need proof of where you're staying for while you're quarantining, if you're quarantining. We also need then proof of where you're booked in to accommodate for your stay.
Okay, that's good. And I believe there was the COE, the Certificate of Entrance to Thailand.
Yeah.
Right. And that will be given with the visa, right? Usually?
No, you get the visa first and then
you get the Certificate of Entry. Okay.
Yeah, apply for the Certificate of Entry.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And the Certificate of Entry is where you need to upload all your information that you have. So your passports, your visas, all your information, and that it will keep rejecting until they are satisfied with what you've provided.
Okay, that's good. And how long can I stay in Thailand? How long will the visa be granted for?
We usually do 90 days.
90 days, okay. And
I
believe from our side as well, we could always extend if treatment is
Yes.
required. Yes, so
definitely.
We could extend this from Thailand. All right, so let me ask. So the whole process, let's say, including the the permission from the Australian government to the Certificate of Entry, the visa, and so on. How long does the whole process takes usually until the patient could fly to Thailand?
If everything goes smoothly and you have all the documentation that you need, generally we can have it all done within 3 weeks.
Within 3 weeks, okay.
Yes, that's if we're running smoothly with everything, and it should be. Well, hopefully it might be a little bit quicker with the turnaround now. COVID's easing. But yeah, generally we say 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
And that is if you have an existing passport, of course.
That's right. If you don't have a passport, it's longer.
It's longer. All right. Anything we would like to add, or anything the patients should know before traveling from your experience?
No, it's a relatively easy process, and it can be done in a few different ways. I know that the staff at Verita can support people through the steps. Alison and I certainly do all of those steps for patients that find it overwhelming and just want, a folder handed to them at the end of the process with everything in it and be told when they're getting on a plane. So different people require different levels of assistance. But between Alison, myself, yourself, and your staff at Verita, we can certainly answer their questions and provide that support.
Definitely. Thank you very much for this. I really appreciate your help and your support for the patients. And again, as we're talking now, Karen and Alison is always available to help patients who are seeking. So we could just once they book a consultation and they're ready to come, they could contact you, right? And ask for your help and seek your help for this. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day, guys, and thank you very much for your help.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.